All right, cribs walkthrough of the first Airbnb. Like 3 days before my trip started, I re-looked at my Airbnb and the webpage and things like that, and I realized this place is a little bit smaller than I was expecting. The nice part is, I don't know if you can see that, there's the tower right there, but that's pretty much the best part. There is no bed. It pulls out into a bed, but it's super uncomfortable, so I'm probably just gonna sleep on this couch. Honestly, the area is so nice that and we're kind of higher up. I'm cool with it. Like, I think even if I knew that it was going to be small, I still would have taken it anyways because I did not realize how poppin' this area was. Smallest elevator ever. We meet again. Lime scooters. Things are not quite as fun on cobblestone. The weirdest toilet I've ever seen in my life. Every time I've seen the Arc de Triomphe, I feel like I can only think of one thing, and I don't think I can say it. I really wish I knew more French right now. There's a lot of really little things that I'm remembering that I knew about or I learned from videos and shit like that. Like one of them being the first floor is actually just 0 in Europe. Like, I knew that, but of course I still picked 1 and I wasn't on the floor I wanted. I think I would have like fixed my sleep by now. But no, I have only slept for like 5 hours in the last 2 days. Literally just bought this milk because I thought it looked cool. Also, I thought this was like a donut, and it is definitely not a donut. It's something French, but I thought it was I don't know, I was expecting something different. The thing I'm like struggling with the most is just, I eat the same foods all the time, and I can't get those foods here. So I'm trying my best to find replacements. Maybe this can replace hot Cheetos for me. This metro got 2 levels. Like, I've never seen a train on the top and the bottom. I'm at the top right now. Wish I grew up in Europe, just because I think I would have had a much better chance of doing well in sports, playing soccer, than the sports that I did play. I'm at the Palace of Versailles, and I'm just thinking about all the damn treaties that were signed here. Pretty much every war that ever took place in Europe. Treaty of Versailles. Like, you look at how amazing this place is, and you're like, maybe we should just chill, stop killing a bunch of people. In Berlin now, and it's in a very different place than the other Airbnb. This is like a hostel / Airbnb. I've never stayed in a hostel before. I really wanted to try it at least once during this trip. This is like a nice middle ground where like there's people like working in a downstairs area. The room itself is pretty nice. Like, I mean, there's pretty much everything that you could ask for. A kitchen, things to do. I mean, again, it's not its own room. It's like a cross between like an Airbnb and a hotel and a hostel. It's like a combination of all of them, but I really can't complain. And there's like this amazing ring light that is just like real fancy. Like, oh, it's gonna look weird. Best thing ever though is just to have a regular bed again, because I was sleeping on a couch in Paris for like 6 days. We was roughing it out there. There's a crazy lady screaming. Oh God, I think she's coming this way. Anyways, this is pretty cool. This building is like, yeah, I'm trying to back away before something bad happens. Oh. I'm so bad at vlogging, it's actually really bothering me. Okay, I'm in Spain now. This is honestly starting to feel like a video game where, like, you know how every time you progress, there's like a new world that you go into. The third world, because the climates have just been drastically different, and then obviously the cultures and everything like that. So I'm in Madrid, Spain. I have a very tiny Airbnb. All my Airbnbs have, for the most part, been pretty tiny. I am not the tallest person ever, and even I have been hitting my head on this. Like, this is crazy. I've hit my head on it 3 times. I've been here for like less than 24 hours, so that's kind of an issue. I have literally just been watching Disney Channel in Spanish So I think that is helping. I think that's literally all I need. Like as soon as someone asks me a pregunta, oh, I immediately like, estoy nervioso. I think if I lived in Spain for like 6 months, just 6 months, I'd be very fluent. I don't know if that's the word, very fluent, but I'd be fluent, I think, in Spanish. This is probably the best I've ever been in Spanish my entire life. I took like 4 years in school. And then when I was working at a restaurant, I had to use Spanish to talk to the guys in the back. But right now I feel like I'm absolutely at my peak knowledge of Spanish, yet I'm still too slow at processing. I'm doing the translations. I'm hearing the word that I recognize, and then I have to translate it, and then I'm forgetting all the other words they just said. Bedroom, at least this bedroom to me, is like the best part of the Airbnb. Like obviously we're at the top floor, so I guess that's why this roof thing is going down like that. But the bedroom is actually very nice. I like this. Everything else is, kind of tiny. Also, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck these European washing machines work. I mean, they're like more eco-friendly and stuff like that, but they're not as efficient. This is all still kind of wet. I mean, I guess I'll just wait for it to physically dry. This is like by far the craziest place I've been. Like the location of this Airbnb is like smack dab in the middle of like everything. It's in a very touristy spot, which I know some people don't necessarily like, but there you go, you see all the people. I like it though. Like it's very different than everything else. I'm seeing the pros and cons to all of it. One of the cons is that I can't get around as easy. Like, well, I guess I can use the metro, which I'll probably do that today or tomorrow, but I used to just like rent the bikes, but the streets are so small. I can't, and like no one's really riding the bikes because there's so many people in the streets, like you're gonna hit something. So I gotta figure out a new mode of transportation. I used to just like go on a bike and then ride around, but like this is chaos. I hear the weather's nice. It reminds me a lot of California. This is California climate, honestly. Like this reminds me so much of California. I at some point in my trip really want to learn how these weird European stoves work. Maybe they're not European, but I just don't know how cooking works in general. And one thing about solo travel is you have to be okay with looking like a freaking idiot, like a lot of the times. When you're going to places that you've never been to before and you're trying to, either speak languages you've never spoke before or trying to just interact with different cultures, all this stuff, you're gonna look like a friggin' idiot so often. And I can't tell you the amount of times I have had that happen. Like it's on a daily basis, at least 12 times a day. Honestly, I'm doing something just really dumb because I don't know, and I realize that if I chose, I could have someone show me around, and then that's how you learn. But I don't really care. It's all good. I mean, it's not like it's anything new to me. I think I look like an idiot in all of my videos on a daily basis anyways, so I'm not afraid of it. I'm so mad at myself for not doing way more filming in Germany. Like, there wasn't a whole lot, really, that I feel like I should have filmed, except for the amazing, Greek museum. What's it called? It starts with the P. I'm already forgetting the name, but I probably should have vlogged that. But then again, it was it's hard to, vlog museums when you're, by yourself. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I packed really dumb. I packed like a stupid Californian, and that was a horrible choice up until right now. I can finally, because this is basically California climate, so I like that aspect. So I don't have to go outside with a jacket. I've had to buy multiple jackets because I just didn't bring enough with me. I don't really know where I am. I just saw this palace. There's palaces everywhere in Madrid. I'm just I'm gonna go to this palace. It's been a thing for me to take every city's metro. I don't know why I love metro so much. I love public transit. So I make sure that I always ride at least once or twice in the week. Usually I try to do it a lot more, but I think in Berlin I only did it 3 times. It's so funny noticing the cities that listen to the pedestrian walk sign and that don't listen to the pedestrian walk sign. For instance, I first found out New York does not give a crap about that. Oh my god, what is happening here? You do not follow the pedestrian walk sign. But in Germany, everyone did. It was actually kind of weird. It was strange how often like people did not they did not walk. It could be at like 1 a.m. It was like 1 a.m. and no cars are coming and they would still listen. So it doesn't scare me. There's not as much of a language barrier. I can at least try. So that's a big positive, I think. I'm like trying to figure out what the hell is this. I'm so glad that I chose Madrid instead of Barcelona because I have a problem with like beach cities. Oh shit. Almost died. I figured out that I think I have a new retirement plan. My retirement plan was always to like, you know, retire and move to rural Texas and just live there forever. Honestly, that sounds like hell. I definitely do not want to do that. Now it's to move to like a Spanish-speaking country. I don't know if Spain's that cheap. I don't think Spain is, but that's what I'm thinking. Mexico. Every time I ride, wait, you can't hear shit. The scooters, it's like the most dangerous thing I've ever done in my fucking life. Like, there's been so many moments already where like I have been really close to fucking getting hit by a car. I don't know if I would die, but right now it's probably the closest. Like, because a cop came and no, a cop was like trying to move through the lane and I was like, fuck, because the sirens were on. So I had to like stop really hard so the cop didn't hit me. I just bought a bunch of ducks platos. You can't tell because they're gift wrapped, and I don't know why I gift wrapped them because I'm gonna have to take these all out, I think. I'm only halfway through my trip. I don't know why I'm buying gifts for people. I want to go to this cafe. It's called Kawaii Cafe. I'm not sure if I'm gonna film that or if I'm just gonna take pictures on my phone, but like it's exactly what you think it is. One thing I'm noticing is like the different cities and how like bike friendly they are. Some cities are really not bike friendly, and this is one of them. Paris was probably the best. I was just talking about how I almost died multiple times today, and then the whole trip it's just been so dangerous. But it's really fun. It's like the best way because you really can't see the city just riding the metro. I like to ride the metro, but I need to be able to do it. I need to be able to look at things. There are certain streets, certain calles with a pretty nice bike lane, and during those moments, it's really enjoyable. Like. There is something to the southwest that I was kind of and I thought it was just going to go around the entire city. I thought it was just going to be a huge circle. So I was like, oh, this is okay. Like, I understand the middle of the city, pretty much where I am, is practically impossible to ride your bike down. I realized that I am probably missing a lot of things, like a lot of fun parts of each city because I'm choosing to just do it completely alone. I'm not really doing any research. I mean, I didn't even know I was gonna be here, to be honest. I was looking at my notes the other day, and it had 5 cities that I had planned to go to after Paris, and I went to none of those. About to watch a flamenco. I don't even know why. Hello from Amsterdam. I just got to this hostel, which is the first like time I haven't booked something through Airbnb. I used some sort of hostel website. This place is freaking crazy. It's definitely, I've never been in a place anywhere near. There is always a party happening downstairs. I don't know if that's just like a weekend thing because I'm in Amsterdam for like, well, there's 2 big festivals happening. I guess Amsterdam dance festival and then also their music festival, which I'm going to go to tomorrow. But so I don't know if it's just like a weekend thing, but like every time you go downstairs there is always a party. And the good thing is that every time you go downstairs there's always a party. The bad thing is that every time you go downstairs there's always a party. I would like this experience a lot more if I could figure out what the fuck is going on with the internet. There's no reason. How is that possible? I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Like, obviously, if down was that low, then obviously up is going to be really bad. And I have to have good internet to be able to do my videos, to get my videos up on YouTube and then to get them to my editors. That is crazy. Luckily, I did find a cafe nearby that I can go to if I really need to. So I've obviously been biking throughout all of Europe. I have to bike here in the Netherlands. It's like the most famous thing. I don't even know. Well, there's other things, but we ain't gonna talk about those. I've kind of been realizing more and more the bigger reason why I'm taking this Euro trip. And I didn't realize it at first. I was just like, you know what, it's time for me to finally go to Europe. It was actually annoying to me how often I talked about different parts of the world and all these different cultures and all these cool things, and I'd never actually been anywhere. I'd only been to Sweden before this. I feel like the bigger reason was to figure out, like, I've been doing YouTube for like 10 years, and throughout those 10 years I pretty much have made that my entire life's focus. Like, there was no personal growth in that 10 years because I was so focused on, you know, my channel. And I've actually heard people say the same thing. I've heard other creators say the same thing, that they were so focused on growth and things like that that they weren't focused on personal growth, I guess. When I hit 1 million subscribers, that was like my big goal. I felt like that was the ultimate thing. Once I got that, that was really the ultimate thing that I wanted when I first started. Then once I got that, I was like looking around, you know, metaphorically in my mind, and I'm like, what the fuck has happened? I felt like I woke up from this deep slumber in a way. Like, what have I been doing for 10 years? It hasn't been 10 years yet. I hit it on like the 9th anniversary. Don't let daddy know. It's like the strangest concert name I've ever seen in my life. I really need to get a haircut. I mean, I want to get a haircut. I guess I don't need it, but I would really like to. But I'm afraid they're gonna fuck my shit up. I'm obviously a pretty inexperienced traveler. I'm noticing that how many people kind of just stay for like a day or two and then bounce. And this whole time I've been doing like 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. And I think I really like that system. Like, I think I've been able to really get a good understanding of the cities that I'm in. But obviously, because I'm doing it that way, I'm hitting a lot less than I could for a longer amount of time. I mean, I guess you could say you were in Amsterdam if you spent one night here, but were you really in Amsterdam? I don't know if like just the internet sucks in Amsterdam or what's going on, but even at the cafe, I can't do it. Like, I can't even download a 1 gigabyte video. I don't understand what is going on. I don't know why. I would assume that Amsterdam would have really fast internet, but it's been horrible. I think it might be, maybe it's the dance event that's going on that's making the whole thing slower. Okay, I am inside this random rave. Well, it's not random, but this is gonna get the video copyright claimed, isn't it? I'm like terrified of pickpocketers, so I'm probably gonna have to put everything away because I know that that'd be like the quickest way to ruin my trip. So I'm gonna go hide everything in the locker. Last night I walked like 3 miles home. Like, I don't even know why I did that, and I knew when I was doing it. I was pretty drunk too. When I was doing it, I knew this is a horrible idea. Like, this is how something really bad happens. I was drunk and I wanted to go home and I was sleepy, and the Uber situation was obviously horrible. It was 2:30 in the morning and the Ubers were really expensive, and you just couldn't find them, and everyone was in one area. So I'm like, I'm just gonna start walking towards my Airbnb or my hostel, and it said that it was gonna take an hour and a half. But I was like, I'm just gonna walk and then eventually call an Uber. The problem was that I was kind of walking on like a highway for like an hour, and eventually I called the Uber and like 30 minutes from my hostel. And I just remember, like, when he got there, I literally was just like, thank you. Like, I kind of said it a little bit like that. I didn't mean to, but it was because Ubers kept canceling on me. I know that I was in the wrong for like trying to get picked up like by a highway. And I think that it probably looked like, to the Uber's perspective, the Uber drivers probably knew what I was doing, and they probably didn't want to help. Like, they knew that I was trying to walk away from the event and yada yada yada. But luckily one guy eventually did it. But man, that could have been so bad. You know, you would think it'd be stupid as hell to buy $15 shoes from Target and wear that throughout an entire trip of Europe where you're doing a lot of walking and things like that. And they're white too, so they're super messy, but I kind of like it. I kind of like that I've been wearing these same shoes pretty much every day. So I don't know if it's just because like the people I've met, if it's just a coincidence, but it seems like the hospitality industry in Europe is huge. Like I keep meeting people that are in the hospitality industry, and they're from all over the place. Like I'm here in the Netherlands, and there are people from all around the world working in this hostel. Like France, there's a girl from Florida. There's definitely there's a girl from Germany. There's definitely some. Anyways, it's just interesting. And then I was talking to another person that didn't happen to work there, but she worked in Switzerland at a hostel, and it sounds like that's what people do. I probably sound really stupid, like obviously maybe to a lot of people they already know this, but I didn't realize how that's such a common thing. People work in hostels. Sometimes they do it. Apparently you can work in a hostel and get to stay there for free if you're working. So I guess people are like bouncing around traveling and then working in these hostels, getting to know people. It's pretty smart. Apparently everyone thinks that I'm dead because I'm not posting to social media. And to be honest, I don't really know why I don't do that. I'm like just not really a big poster, I guess. As I've also said, I don't think this trip for me was it's not really to show off. Like I love doing that. I love taking pictures and showing when I'm with friends and traveling, but when I'm by myself, I don't like to do it. And I think it really goes back to what I've been saying this whole time, is that this trip isn't for, this trip is just, it's just a me thing. What is up with Europe's hatred of bar tops, like bar stools and things like that? Like there are some places that have the bar tops. Those are fantastic for meeting people. Like when I travel alone in the US, that's always what I do, and I definitely meet people. I mean, we have bar tops in literally every restaurant. It could be a fucking Denny's and there will be a bar top. But here I feel like it's like a 50-50. It depends. Like sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. Being forced to sit at a table completely alone really sucks. I feel like I have not seen a toy store in a decade. I feel like I just got transported back to 2002. Last night I literally went to a festival all by myself. That's always been like a dream of mine. I know that's a really weird dream. That's always been something that I've wanted to do, to be brave enough to go to an event like that by myself. And it's funny because in high school I used to joke around about I'm gonna go to the movies by myself, and then I would chicken out the last second because I'd be too freaked out. It's different in high school though, because you know a lot more people and you really could run into someone that you know. But you know, now I'm on the other side of the world, and I've been completely alone for like 6 weeks. First thing I'm gonna do when I get home is eat the fattest bag of hot Cheetos. Okay, so I switched to a different Airbnb inside of Amsterdam. I think we're actually just outside of the city, but this will be the last time I complain about it. That internet situation was terrible. Like, I don't want to keep talking about it. Here, I mean, that was like the first thing I did is I checked on the internet, and I'm like, please, what if it's just a whole Netherlands thing? What if all of the internet is just terrible in this country? But no, it's good. We have good internet now. That was technically the first hostel I had ever been in. Again, even though I had my own room, it was the first real hostel. Whatever Germany was like a mixture. But I can see the pluses and minuses to hostels. I definitely never met that many people before. That was like, I met so many people in such a small amount of time. More people in those 4 days than I had in like 4 weeks of traveling around. However, oh my gosh. I mean, not only the internet, but the room wasn't that nice. And this is probably the best Airbnb I've been in, easily. It is outside the city though, and it's not like there's probably not a whole lot of things to do around here, but man, this is a cool Airbnb, and it wasn't like super expensive either. I personally am kind of an Airbnb stan. I know people really don't like Airbnbs, and I kind of understand. It is a crapshoot in a way. Like, it's really random. You never know what you're gonna get. But for some reason, even my bad Airbnbs aren't even that bad. Like, it's fine. Like, I'll deal with it. I think I like the randomness of it all. The blandness and the sameness of a hotel is not fun to me. It's not fun. Actually, maybe I should try a hotel because I haven't tried that on this trip. But I'm definitely going to be a little bit more worried about doing a hostel. Maybe I'll do a hostel for 4 days, and then when I have to work, I'll get a Airbnb. Those stairs, I just fell down, and I thought it was over. I thought I was definitely going to break something. It was raining, and my phone was at 9%, and I didn't know where this location was, and I just found, I luckily got the right address, but I started walking up those stairs, and luckily I found the homeowner. But because it was raining, when I came back down, boom, I fell down those whole things. I was like, well, this is it. Trip's over because I'm breaking something. I'm really glad that I got to see something outside of Amsterdam, because I really got to, you know, notice. I think I'm in a small town. It feels kind of small town-y. I just got to notice how beautiful everything is here. For some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to try to ride my bike around a lake, and it turns out that would have taken me 4 hours. So I found the nearest restaurant, which was like a fancy restaurant. Everyone thought I was a freak, clearly, by going in there by myself. Me and Frank are in London right now. I haven't really updated anybody about that yet.
Oh, no? Yeah, we're in London. I'm here too.
I finally am the vlogger. Yeah, this is weird, actually. This is weird, me being the camera holder for the first time. Yeah, we good. Frank being a real manly man, he had to come back and get a sweater.
Nah, bro, it ain't even cold, bro. It ain't even cold. What else? Look at this food. Look at this food. This nice little red cotton sweater. Look
Actually,
at this shit.
There's
fancy,
a lot of
bro.
shit that goes through this.
It's so fancy. Are you wearing a shirt under that?
No, I should have.
Oh, wow.
It would have felt really
good.
good.
You crazy now for sure. All right, so we've been going through London. We've been walking everywhere. We went to some fancy hotel that we weren't supposed to be in. We took limes everywhere. We almost got killed by a bus. Well, I did. Yeah, it was funny. It was like the 2-story buses. It wasn't like those tiny buses. It was a 2-story bus, guys. It was not fun.
He was on your ass.
I know, bro. Drew was trying to take a picture. I'm like, bro, you're gonna die. Don't do that. It hasn't been very cold though. Today's kind of the first day. It's kind of chilly.
Yeah, it's kind of cold. I think because the sun is not. You can't see it.
Yeah. Oh, we saw the Book of Mormon.
Oh yeah,
That's
we saw
right.
that play.
We saw that play.
We saw a play. We've been able to watch the real life Office.
Yes. Because literally across the street. We'll show you guys when we get back to the house.
We can
we can see them. Are they there? They're having an office party.
Yeah,
yesterday.
an office party, and we were like, "Oh, that's Phyllis. That's Steve Carell.
It's Jim.
Yeah, that's
it's
Jim and Pam. Yeah. Would have been okay.
I mean, if you want to do, we can.
No. I'm not. But I'm not interested in. Like, I don't see anything that looks that great right here.
British food, bro.
Yeah, where's beans and toast and shit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where's
like
that?
Breakfast.
Okay, let's just keep on walking, I guess. I knew it.
Oh, no.
I was like, I feel like this food is not actually working.
Nah, I'm working, bro. I'm sorry right now.
What you doing, Frank? What you doing? No, you could do it. I love it. I'm not working either, so it's cool.
Not?
Yeah.
I
haven't been working either. I'm chilling.
I was like 2 o'clock I started. Then I was like, 2:30.
What time is it right now? God dang!
Yeah, I don't know why you open this so hot.
I don't know. It's tight. It's tight. So last night we was up all night because we have like the worst Airbnb situation where like if any wind goes, listen look at all this. Look at all this movement. So any amount of wind that blows, it's gonna just shake that thing. So the whole time last night we just hear this over and over and over and over.
All
even
night,
my door does this. Look, even my door. You just hear this the whole time.
All night, dude.
It's like one of the worst Airbnbs.
Easily the worst. That's like the worst part of this video.
Everything else is actually pretty good. I like that you have your own room, even though your bed is more comfortable than mine.
It is so nice.
Frank's bed is more comfortable than mine.
That's a couch.
Oh, it is basically a couch. Also, we get to watch like people play in an office right here, so we like that part.
Oh, that's the best
I like
part,
that
bro.
part. But
Are they still there?
I can't tell, the reflection is so. Yeah, but we've been staring at these fools this whole time, just like
Jim and Pam.
Yeah, Jim and Pam.
Great, we found them.
So we kind of look, and we have our own office in here. But right now, obviously, there ain't no work being done. Me and Frank's last day in London. I actually didn't remind you to bring your camera because I was hoping you wouldn't bring your camera. I was really hoping that you wouldn't bring it. This is the last day, and we're gonna go see Buckingham Palace. Apparently, I think we're gonna get food. We're gonna get Buckingham Palace. We're gonna make sure Frank does the thing. He messes with the guards. You
so I go to jail?
Yeah. Well, just don't touch him. I think you're. I think.
Hey, bro, can I take a video next to you? Picture next to you, bro. That's it.
We could try that. I'm down. I'm down to try it. I'm a little scared.
I don't think they mind as long as you don't do anything stupid.
Okay, we're gonna see. It's actually kind of depressing because we're like some of the first people to see Buckingham Palace without the Queen.
Oh,
You
we
know what I
are.
mean? Yeah, like I just saw this S for South Africa that looked a lot like the font from Shrek.
Yep.
The way they made this S looked exactly like Shrek.
He did.
And I'm like, wait a second, is that where
South Africa too.
is that, yeah, I'm thinking maybe that's where the people that made the Buckingham Palace, they probably watched Shrek and they were like, oh, we should make the S like that. Because you know they don't visit this, like the real British people probably do not come here.
Care about this at all.
Yeah, they probably came here once when they were 5 and then they never came again.
Yeah.
I just feel like they probably spent more money on this gate than they spent on anything else.
Or you can stand on the right side and you're supposed to stand still.
That's smart. I mean, that's
Yeah,
everyone
I think it's
should do that.
actually very efficient. I
Yeah,
think it's smart.
we should all do that.
more.
Playing Minecraft right now, and we lost our house.
Yeah, I have no idea how to get home.
It's getting dark, and we can't find our house, and the creepers and skeletons and spiders are coming out.
And apparently, if you go to the parks, they ain't even got lights in the park.
Yeah, there was.
So we had to leave the park.
It's literally advanced darkness. Advanced darkness is
Lights
because
on the streets, but that's it.
it's so cloudy and there's
Can't
just
see the
no
moon,
lights. Yeah, no, you
nothing.
can't see the moon. And I guess because we just turned the clocks back, and I slept
Oh, an
past
hour,
that.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's why, because sunset was like at 6 here, now it's clearly like 5.
Yeah.
It's like,
pretty bad.
yeah, so, yeah, we actually got an extra hour and didn't even know about it. Well, I slept straight through that.
Mine's too obvious.
Why is your 2 hours? Oh.
It's a stick. Yours is just a little square box.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure that I capture this moment. It's been 7, 8 years since me and Frank have been in an environment like this.
Right
So Frank is gone and I have arrived in Zurich, Switzerland. This is an interesting Airbnb. I really like it. We are on the bottom floor, but there are people outside and the weather is not that great, but it was exactly how it was in London. And I'm pretty sure I just saw this. I think we just saw this. See, I like to travel from the airport to my Airbnb. Usually, like I like to do it by train or by public transit if I can. But man, that thing sucks sometimes. Like it would have been 10 times easier. I would say about 10 times easier if I just called an Uber. So yeah, I'm really hoping to go to another part of Switzerland. I really like the trains here. They seem very simple. Well, kind of simple. I listened to my instincts partially with my phone, and it told me the train didn't arrive until 4:04, even though there were several other trains that were like coming before that. And I almost jumped on one because I'm like, this has got to be it. But that's never a good idea to jump on a train that you don't know. Not only did I find out they use a different currency, so I did pick that up at the airport, but I found out that Zurich is like basically at sea level or whatever. Like it's not high up. It's not, you know, in the mountains or whatever. So I knew that I was going to want to change locations later. When I first got here, I literally saw like he had to be like 6 or 7 years old, just like taking the train. Whenever I go up to a new place, I will be honest, I'm a little nervous because I'm like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know if this area is really that dangerous or what the people are like. I mean, this is Switzerland. But regardless, even if it's like the safest place on earth, I'm gonna be a little bit nervous. But once I saw that, I'm like, oh no, we chilling. There's like some type of film festival happening here. Like Swiss Film Festival. I tried to sneak in and they did not let me. This is the first time that I decided not to book one spot for the entire week. Even though I did change in the Netherlands, I think that's what started my interest in maybe changing during the week and going to a different city inside the country. I wasn't sure what I was going to do in Zurich, but I went to the lake. What is that lake that they have? Went to the lake. I looked over the lake and I seen these huge mountains. Those were the Alps with a bunch of snow on them. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to definitely leave. I don't know if I'm going to go to that snow, but I decided I will probably figure out some way to move around. This is really starting to feel like Disneyland. I feel like the universe is beginning to tell me that it is time to go home because it is getting really cold, and thank goodness I have just Italy to next week, because I almost said tomorrow, because Italy's going to be much better. It's Rome too. It's not like northern Italy, so I won't have to worry too much, but I can see how you can't really travel during the winter. I'm starting to notice all the limitations you have put on you. Like, I don't think I fully grasped the harshness of a winter, probably because I'm a Californian. I always remember hearing like, you know, like what you're going here in this time of the year, you're going here in December, or here. Like the first time I ever heard that was going to Boston for the first time like 3 years ago, and it was actually not a big deal. And I kept hearing that before this trip too. Like, what, you're really going to start traveling, you know, to Europe as we're approaching winter? And I'm like, yeah, it's not really a big deal. Later on, because I've been here for so long, and now that we are approaching like winter, I'm like, oh yeah, you like physically can't even leave your house. Yo, this is dumb right now. But I only had 1 day left in Zurich, wanted to explore, and now I'm trapped in the rain. And my weather app did not tell me it was gonna rain this much. I had to get off the scooter because it was just like freezing my hands. I just couldn't keep on going. So I'm just gonna walk around in the rain. Luckily, I am prepared. Like I try to layer up as much as possible because I thought this might happen. Okay, it's starting to pour. Okay, this is not good. It's starting to rain so much that it's going through my shoes. I'm actually fine upper body wise, but it's now making my $15 Target shoes, which are like really running off. I'm pretty much walking barefoot at this point. There's like no support. I just kind of want to finish this trip with these damn shoes because I'm stupid. I came to this train station 2 times before I have to actually go, just to make sure that I'm doing this right. And I still don't really know. I printed out this ticket, but it doesn't tell me what train to go on technically. Can I show you this ticket? Is there any valuable information? I asked someone and they said I could just jump on any train. Something doesn't feel right about that, but I mean, she did clarify a little bit. I could find something specifically to Geneva airport, but I'm like, this seems sketchy. I feel like I've eaten so badly here in Zurich, partly because I've just been fed so much fucking chocolate. Part of the thing that I love about traveling is like the little problems that you have to figure out or you die. I mean, you don't die, but you know, you kind of, well, you can. I guess you technically can, but you're constantly coming up against problems and little puzzles. I felt like I had to go through a little mini saw contraption in order to get into this new Airbnb. First of all, addresses in Europe confuse the hell out of me. I'm starting to get it. Like, I see the number over there, but like this was really hard to find. Like, there was no address outside of this building. Then I had to go and find a random mailbox with a certain name on it. Then inside of the mailbox was one of those lock keys where I had to enter a code, and it was in a dark mailbox, so I had to take out my light, and it was really hard to see because then there was a reflection, so I couldn't see the numbers. Yeah, but we got here without embarrassing myself too much. And so far, this Airbnb is much better than my place in Zurich. I liked the place in Zurich, but I realized last night that there was literally no food around. That's why I was like starving. What, Europe, what is up with the no barriers for the shower? I don't get it. Like, I've been getting my places so wet, like just flooding with water outside because there isn't this. You know what's crazy? There isn't even this. This isn't even there. Even just like raised up 1 inch, okay, that's cool. But there'd literally be nothing here. So it will just kind of like, maybe if you're lucky, it would be sloped slightly, but that doesn't make any difference when like the water's like spraying like this. Also, there is no Lime scooters here. Look at that little mini bike. What is that? Big Swiss clock. Can't even really tell, but yeah. Forgot how huge Christmas is here. And I can see they're already building like a little Christmas town. that sucks that I'm not gonna be able to see that. I don't know what they're gonna do, but you can tell that thing's gonna be crazy because they built a whole mini town inside of this park. Really glad that I decided I was gonna work today, my last day in Geneva, because it is raining. And it's gonna be raining, I guess, the entire time. Okay, that was easily the worst experience I've had all trip, going from the airport to my Airbnb or whatever, the place that I was staying. That, is it the Da Vinci Airport? Is that what, FCO? That airport, well, first of all, it's huge. You can tell it's massive. Like, it's on the, I thought Heathrow was like the biggest airport that I would be. I think that was even bigger. They landed us in the middle of the tarmac, and then they just stopped randomly. There was no buildings around, and we all got into a bus, and we rode into the airport like 5 to 10 minutes away. That was the weirdest experience, like to get off of a plane, stand on the tarmac, go into a bus, and then they take us to the actual airport. This was terrible. Like, I had to take this train. It was really complicated, really busy, and the train was super slow to come in. I mean, I guess anyone that has, I'm sure there's probably a lot of people that have actually experienced it. If you flew into Rome, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you know, mind you, I was just on that Swiss train, and that took an hour to get me across the country, or 3 hours to get me across the country, but it was fast, it was smooth. I'm looking around at this train, I'm like, why are we going so slow? Public transportation from the major airport to the city center, probably the top is easily Zurich, Switzerland. Probably even Geneva wasn't going to be a problem either. So Switzerland's at the very, very top. Then London's not too far down. I flew into London City Airport, not Heathrow. I left out of Heathrow. But it was fine with me. I was okay with that. But yeah, like Rome is like wait, no. I'm 100% Ubering back to that airport. My initial thoughts, like right off the bat, is instantly this place reminds me of Spain, which shouldn't be surprising because obviously Italy and Spain share very shared history. Spain controlled Italy at one time, and I guess technically Italy controlled Spain at one time if you go all the way back to like the Romans. This place is just so crazy. Like, every corner I turn, I'm just like randomly, I don't even have a destination. I'm just like turning corners and seeing what looks cool. Every corner has something just nuts behind it. Side note, but I just purchased my ticket home because this is the last place that I'm gonna visit. It's gonna be a long one. I don't know why I thought that doing a layover in Dublin would be better. See, I kind of planned this bad. Like, I probably should have done Rome and then Zurich, because there's a direct cheap flight from Zurich to LAX, but I didn't do that. And I mean, maybe it's a good thing, because I think this is like I think this is going to be maybe the best, or up there as one of the best places I visited. But damn, it's like 3 hours to get to Dublin, and then it's going to be like another 11 hours to fly back to LAX. I've gotten lost like 10 times. I'm kind of just like going down whatever I think looks cool. I find it fascinating that for whatever reason, while I'm here, I'm thinking of a lot of movies, and the specific movie I can't get out of my head is The Exorcism. I don't know why. I barely even remember them being in Italy for that movie, The Exorcist, but I think they were, right? For a little bit, and then obviously I'm thinking of The Godfather and things like that. I mean, but not as much as just like 70s, a lot of like, what do they call that? What's that big word? Oh, avant-garde. All the avant-garde films of the 70s. Like, I'm just thinking about all of that stuff. Oh, what's that one movie with, I can't think of it. All I know is it's an old man, and he's following around this girl in a red hood from the 70s. I don't think I can spoil it, but he's trying to find his daughter, and he thinks it's his daughter. Oh, the film is called Don't Look Now. It's from like the early 70s, and it's with Donald Sutherland. I was trying to think of his son. I was saying Kevin. It's Kiefer Sutherland. Anyways, they're in Venice. They're not in Rome, but I guess that's the reason why I keep going back to that. So I'm going back to that movie and The Exorcist. Decided to take a random train as far away from the city center as possible. I'm glad I did that. Completely different experience. I was really getting sick of all the touristy spots. I'm like right in the middle of just a massive tourist trap. All right, this is my final day in Rome, my final day in Europe, actually. And I figured I'd finish it off by going to one more country, maybe the greatest, because it is the smallest. And just to confirm, here I am on the last day, still wearing these damn shoes. Okay, officially inside my 9th country. That was actually a lot, I don't know. I don't know, I kind of thought you just walk in, and then I started walking up and I started noticing there was huge walls everywhere and then security guards. I don't know why I thought you could just walk in. I realized that was really dumb. This is giving me Haunted Mansion Disneyland rides. They'd be so mad if they made my statue like that. It like feels like the British Museum, but like, I don't know, this is in a way crazier. I did have to pay $27 for it, so it better be crazier. The British Museum was free. You remember that episode of SpongeBob? I don't even think I need to finish that phrase, but that's all I can think about right now. Squidward made all of these. Alright, just now realizing how much I really like marble statues. I like how this place is still fully ready to like have some sort of siege battle because of the walls that surround us. I think there's maps all over the walls. Have I just found a home? I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be honest. This is probably why I should have taken an audio tour, but this is crazy. Like literally everything labeled. That is crazy. And there's the whole thing. Wow. Out of the 7 weeks I've been traveling, gotta say this last day really did pretty good. This was definitely easily one of my favorite days. Probably in the top 5. I'll like have to think more about it. I think it's like smart the way they like set it up where like the climax is literally at the very end. Like the Sistine Chapel's literally the last thing you do pretty much, and everything's just like a build up for that moment. I was kind of ready to go. Once I booked my flight home, I was like, I kind of just want to get this over with because I don't like flying and I have to make a stop, and yeah, it's like, okay, I'm ready to go. It's hard to like summarize the whole thing right now because I still have like the journey back tomorrow, but maybe the craziest or greatest thing, I don't know. I don't really know yet. Something that I've realized is like when I think I've discussed this, when I would talk to other people about their own trips to Europe, like I was just like fascinated by it because it just seems like the most epic thing ever. And it is really epic to go to a different continent than what you're used to. But man, there are a lot of things you have to overcome, especially when you're alone. Like, yes, it was fun, and I feel insanely lucky to have been able to do this. But there were times where it's like, it was just really hard. I told Frank, one of the first things I told him when I did meet up with him is like, you have to be totally fine with looking like a complete idiot. You have to put yourself constantly out of your comfort zone. I think the most dangerous or sketchiest moment I had was probably walking back home. I really wish I would have filmed that, but I didn't want to take my GoPro because there's a lot of pickpocketers. But after that rave, that was easily the dumbest thing, and I need to stop doing that. But that case in Amsterdam, like on a Saturday night where I walked like 3 miles in like by a highway, at 3 a.m. That was stupid. In a similar question, the most fun I had, the single most fun day, a night in Spain, in Madrid. I think it was my 2nd or 3rd night there where I was just on fire. I was in this like little food court and I just didn't have any fear talking Spanish to people. And I was talking to everyone in that food court. And of course I didn't film any of that, but that was a really nice high that I got because I'm usually not that extroverted anymore. Honestly, this was just a stream of conscious ending. I just wanted to blurt out everything to know what I'm thinking here at the very end, but I know that it's going to take me a week or two, or maybe even more once I get back, to really have this settle in, figure out what the hell even happened.